beyond what we might be talking about today. We can talk about that in more details later. Now, coming to, without that anyway, it means that we'll be having this roller coaster problems that we have in Nigeria in every aspect of our national life. And because politics in Nigeria does not respect anything about Nigeria as it is now. And that is why people shift from one party to the other as if they're just going from their bedroom to their living room without any consideration at all. But if you have a national strategic vision and you say that the strategy to achieve that vision is through this pathway, you cannot tomorrow easily say, okay, I'm changing from this party, because parties key in at the level of strategy, which is below the vision, below the core goals of the country. Okay, so you cannot say to achieve the vision which every Nigerian must share. That is the DNA of the country. And we don't have a national DNA. Whereas you have a Southwest DNA, you have a Northern DNA. Okay, you used to have an Eastern DNA. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it is this that drives your behavior, it drives your thinking, it drives your planning.
So this is related to the job losses, 3.5
It is, everything is tied to it. We are now coming, of course, the immediate is like Arsene Wenger now. Is facing problems because he's losing matches. Okay? But people are no longer thinking about Arsenal as an institution. They are looking at immediate results. Right now, there is hunger. Again, hunger is a symptom. Hunger is present tense. I am hungry. And no matter what people are telling you about what is causing the hunger, okay, what you want is to eat some food. Now, the job losses, as you say, one, we have to congratulate the Bureau of Statistics, because there was a time in this country when you couldn't really get meaningful statistics. And one thing I need to say here too is that it should be made more independent, an organization, and funded directly, so that it will go out of partisan political manipulation. Then you can really rely on what you get over time and consistently. So they have done a good job. They have been doing a good job since they came into play. The job losses are clear consequences of, one, the insecurity, the reduction in foreign direct inflows, investments, okay? And even for those who are here and have money, with the roller coaster of the foreign exchange, nobody wants to expose his money now. People are buying up foreign exchange with their own money and keeping, because it is probably better investment to keep your money in foreign exchange, and after 6 months it would have gained 10 or 20% or sometimes more. That was a week that the thing doubled. So why take the business risk, okay, if you are hedging with foreign exchange is going to give you a lot more returns.
Does that then mean that in order for us to get ourselves out of this, do we need to go all the way back, or we could put
it's a leadership issue? No, from where we are, it's a leadership issue. And let me tell you, throughout development, only one person is responsible for the success or failure, the success of countries, okay? And that is the chief executive of that nation. Okay, if you go to think about America, you take it back to Washington, really, because right from the beginning, they had clear ideas what they have. They didn't want the European type of core goal. They wanted the maximization of individual potential based on the rule of law. He did so when they wanted him to do a third term. He said no. Here, people do badly and they want third terms. Okay, so then if you go to China, okay, Deng, when communism put China in the gutter and they were just poor farmers, Deng came over and used a society that had already been conditioned by communism to obey the system, to bring in capitalist practices, still under a communist system. And China is now going to become the biggest economic power in the world very soon. Okay, if you take Ghana, okay, Kwame Nkrumah produced a Ghana, so they don't say I'm just quoting big countries already. Kwame Nkrumah created a Ghana in the minds of Ghanaians. So there is Ghana that is Ghanaian. Every Ghanaian has a Ghanaian mindset. It's not a question of a Nigerian having a Northern mindset or Western mindset, because that's the only strategic vision that exists for them. Okay, so so every country has been produced by a leader. You're in Singapore, you have them. No matter what developed country or country that is developing, take UAE. 30 years ago, desert poor.
Do you, for instance, see that this administration is able to get this country out of recession on the one hand, and also reverse the 3.5 million jobs that have been lost, or will it increase?
I think that this administration can actually do all that needs to be done to create the job, to create far more than 3.6 million jobs, because the 3.6 million jobs you are talking about is those who are who lost their jobs. Yeah. Okay, the question of unemployment is huge, is a bigger problem than that, and even within the band of people who are who we think are employed, you have lots of people who are underemployed, and that is another sub-segment. But it affects the economy significantly. But yes, this government and any other responsible government can do it. The key thing is doing the right thing. Are we doing the right thing? It is when we begin to do the right thing, and as long as we continue to ignore the fundamental. If you have a foundational structural failure in a house and you keep patching it up, the house will just one day collapse on you. Let us take, for instance,
okay, I understand we need to go to break, but we'll come back and we'll continue from that same point in a moment. Don't go away.